Welcome back, everyone, to Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. Massive college basketball news going down earlier today when the center of the Wake Forest Demon Deacons, Olivier Sarr, announced that he would enter into the transfer portal. Sarr is one of the top transfers in all college basketball. Now, later on in this video, I will go into detail of the three teams where I predict that Sarr will be a good fit. This video was made before Sarr's list of schools that he is interested in actually gets released out, so I have no clue what his list of teams are at the current date of recording this video on May 1st. I don't even know if he is interested in the three teams that I'll be talking about later on in the video. The three teams I'll be talking about later are all looking for upgrades, though, at the center position. But today, Sarr announced that he would transfer from Wake Forest. This was one day after the Demon Deacons hired Steve Forbes to be the next head coach from East Tennessee State, as Steve Forbes will be taking over the spot of Danny Manning. Currently, though, Sarr's listed as a sit-out transfer, and that's because he has too many credits remaining, as he'll be eligible for the 2021-22 season. Now, that's according to an ESPN article on the transfer rankings. Sarr also has no interest in sitting out if he can't become immediately eligible. So he's not even interested in sitting out if he can't become a grad transfer. Now, this is where things get interesting, is that Sarr will be able to apply for a waiver so he can become immediately eligible to play next season as a grad transfer and not a sit-out transfer, which will be huge towards Sarr's status to upgrade him to make him a grad transfer to be eligible for next season. The 7-foot center is coming off season highs in points per game, rebounds per game, and blocks per game this past season. He was named third-team All-ACC, and he averaged 13.7 points per game, 9 rebounds per game, and shot the ball at 52.7% from the floor. Sarr ranks second in the conference of rebounds. He also tallied in 11 double-doubles. He had a career high against Notre Dame in both points and rebounds. That was 30 points and 17 rebounds against the Fighting Irish. Now, the Notre Dame game was 4 days after Sarr had already scored 25 points in the double overtime victory against the Duke Blue Devils. So Sarr will just be a massive pickup. He'll be a huge pickup for a team looking to add size and a solid rebounder and also a tremendous low post scorer to their program. Sarr is basically a coach's dream here with a whole package of what teams look for a center. This video here was made before Sarr's announced his list of schools that he is interested in so far, but I'll go into detail of the three teams where I predict that Sarr will be a good fit. Number 1 on the list goes to the Kentucky Wildcats, and they are my prediction to land Olivier Sarr. With the number 1 ranked recruiting class coming in at this moment for next season, Coach Cal should be looking right to add Sarr to the lineup. Sarr will fit perfectly to fill in the void of Nick Richards for next season. Kentucky's in the pursuit as a big man as well. They weren't able to get Matt Harms as he went from Purdue to BYU, but Sarr, I feel like, would be the perfect fit for Kentucky. Fit much better because he can score inside the low post, and also he is a solid rebounder, and he should be able to continue to improve if he does get the opportunity to play under Coach Cal at Kentucky, and also with a loaded roster of a bunch of young talent. The Wildcats' projected starting 5 for next season has these 5 players listed right now. There's 2 5-star recruit freshmen coming in with B.J. Boston and Terrence Clark. Both of those players are listed as forwards. Also add in sophomore forward Keon Brooks. And then they got the 2 guards with Davion Mintz. He's transferring from Creighton. And then Devin Askew as a guard as well. That's the starting 5 at the moment for Kentucky as far as projections. But the Wildcats' tallest player in that 5 group there they just mentioned is only 6'7". Sarr at 7 feet tall would give the Wildcats a much needed boost on the boards, as well as just a major factor scoring inside the low post, as Sarr would have not only an impact on the team rebounding and points wise inside, but also a major impact as far as leadership goes out for Kentucky because of Sarr's 3 seasons already of experience playing at a power conference level, playing in the ACC. And this is what Sarr had to say about Kentucky. This is according to ESPN. Sarr quoted here, quote, "It's one of the best programs in the country. My drive is winning. Everybody knows there's been some tough years with Wake. I try my best individually to improve and work on my game, but really, in the next program, I'm looking for a winning team with ambition, a team that plays with intensity." Close quote there by Olivier Sarr. If Sarr wants to play for a winning program and needs one more extra season to develop and get his skills ready for the NBA, then it is this one right here, playing under Coach Cal and the Kentucky Wildcats. No brainer here. This is my prediction to land Olivier Olivier Sarr as a transfer. Now we'll take a look at the second option here. If Kentucky's somehow not an option, then this is according to this is what I got here for the second best fit in my prediction. That would be the Maryland Terrapins at number 2. So Maryland at number 2 here, and that would be because of the departure of 6'10" sophomore forward Jalen Smith, as he'll be going to the NBA draft. The Terrapins have a whole lot that they need to replace. They're in desperate need of size in their roster, and they could use Sarr. They also have a 7'2" center still in the roster. His name is Chol Mariel from Maryland, but he still needs a lot of time to develop, as he'll be going into his second season upcoming for the Terrapins. And also on the roster from this past season, the Mitchell twins will not be on Maryland anymore, as they left Maryland to transfer to Rhode Island. That is Makai and Makel Mitchell, as both of those players have left Maryland to transfer over to Rhode Island. So Maryland is in desperate need of a center in their roster, and they will look to see if that could be a possibility there with adding in Olivier Sarr from Wake Forest. And Maryland also losing both of their top 2 scorers from this past season with Anthony Cowan and Jalen Smith, who are going to the NBA. So acquiring Sarr would just be a massive help there for the Terrapins for next season. And now my final team in the list. Number 3 is the Arizona Wildcats for my prediction here. Another team in desperate need of height, as they'll be losing their leading scorer and rebounder, 6'11" Zeke Naji, to the NBA draft, as Arizona will also lose their second tallest player in the roster with Chase Jeter as well. They'll be losing him to graduation. So there's the 2 big men going out the door for Arizona. The other players looking to fill spots for this season for the Wildcats, though, at center, though, have only played limited minutes on the actual roster from this past season. So Sean Miller, I feel like, already has had his eye on Sarr, and that's because Sarr was able to play against Arizona this past season. Sarr dropped 21 points and 13 rebounds for Wake Forest against Arizona back in December. But those are my 3 potential teams that have the greatest likelihood in my predictions there to pick up Olivier Sarr if he is indeed granted eligibility to play next season. I do predict, though, that Sarr will commit to the Big Blue Nation of Kentucky. I'll be shocked, though, if it's not Kentucky, but we'll see what happens. That's a wrap here to this video. Wake Forest center Olivier Sarr to transfer, with my prediction of 3 possible landing spots for him, which, in my opinion, would be a good fit. Let me know down in the comment section below if there's any other teams that I did not mention that you guys would think would be good here that could possibly land Sarr in their roster. And also, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel, as this is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube.